Welcome. This is a presentation on how to keep learners engaged through the development of effective training manuals and materials. This presentation is brought to you by Charmaine Alam and Lisa Forsyth, graduate students at the George Washington University. What are training materials and manuals? Have you ever wondered what is the difference between the two? Are you confused about which type is the most appropriate and how to develop them for your training? Do you want to ensure an effective training outcome? In this presentation, we're going to provide a research-based overview, key findings, and recommendations on manuals and materials development. You will gain information that help you differentiate manuals from materials, recognize examples of each type, understand key steps of the development process, apply selection criteria, and make decisions on existing materials. What are materials? Simply stated, training materials are printed or recorded information used in a training program. Materials can be viewed as a means to educate learners and facilitate the learning process. It can be activities that are designed to help master learners' learning objectives. It should also reflect your instructional strategy through chunking and sequencing of your learning objectives. Development of training materials should begin with the creation of a training content outline, followed by the development of the most appropriate training curriculum. This can be accomplished by identifying the most likely job functions of the typical course attendee and identifying any prerequisite skills. But first, if you do not have time to develop your own training materials, sometimes existing materials are an attractive alternative. In some content areas, there are a lot of materials available. If you do locate pre-existing materials, assess whether they can be reused, adopted, revised, or rejected. Remember, just because they exist does not mean you should use them. Designers must consider what types of training materials make sense for each of the different training platforms, such as for online. Your choices are presentations, workbooks, training materials, audio and visual aids. In hybrid, you have instructor guides, guidelines, sample exercises, textbooks, and tutorial. And in face-to-face, your options are presentation materials, training manuals, handout, and PowerPoint presentations. So what are training manuals? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, training manuals are learning tools for participants, usually in the form of a booklet or computer file that provides an outline on how to do or use something. They are sometimes referred to as guides that provide an overview of materials and shows how those materials are incorporated in the student learning experience. You might also see manuals being offered for onboarding new employees or company policies and procedures, as well as new systems, tools, or software upgrades. Considered as an assistant to instruction and training, manuals increasingly contribute to and in some cases directly guide the practice. It can be built on a combination of theory, evidence, professional training, ethics, and practical experience. They are generally used in the classroom environments, but can be provided as a computer file. Note that all manuals are not created equal. For example, instructor-led manuals are created for instructors even though they can appear similar to student manuals. There is no exact page length for manuals as it depends on the topic of the training. There are four main stages in manual development. The first is to outline the core construct, such as the purpose of the manual, the training goals, and what activities will be developed. During stage 2, also known as the revision stage, developers normally review the content and make revisions. The purpose is to sharpen the focus and flow of the content and training material. This is done based on the feedback received from the trainers who have used the manual, people that have participated in the training, and our subject matter experts that have reviewed the manual. Stage 3 is the most important part. It is the stage where the knowledge, skills, and activities are evaluated to ensure that they apply to the target audience for whom the training is being built. The final stage is where the manual is translated in either various languages or as a computer file to be used in different settings and by target audiences. Creating a training manual that actually gets read is no small feat. There are several criteria that must be met. First, designers must make choices that are based on what is suitable for the audience. Whatever they select should ensure effective training. The manual should be easily adaptable to different platforms, such as face-to-face, online, and hybrid. Last but not least, the materials should be easy to use by the audience or facilitators. Pre-development activities are helpful and will ensure you are building effective manuals. There are 3 main pre-development activities when creating manuals. Step 1 is to complete a front-end analysis. This includes completing a task analysis. Here, you should list terminal objectives and enabling objectives. Step 2, divide the content of your training into modules or chapters. This ensures you set up a structured lesson. Step 3, select a style manual and prepare a style sheet to ensure consistency. Examples may include APA, MLA, and Chicago. There are some steps designers can take to develop manuals. We will discuss 3 main steps. Step 1 is to chunk materials into shorter logical sections with some transitions. Step 2 is to edit the draft training manual and conduct a usability testing if possible. This ensures accuracy, clarity, and makes sure things are comprehensive. Step 3 is to finalize the training manual. Here, you first add the front content, then the back content. Amador 2018 suggests that the best approach to manual development is to begin with a template that serves as your foundation. A template should include the following: a welcome screen or an introduction, objectives, providing clear, defined goals, a module content, where the primary focus should be, assessments, including quizzes and surveys, summary with follow-up steps, user profile, schedule or a timeline, help menu, and related resources. So, to recap, what are training manuals and materials, and can they be viewed as a combination? For example, materials, as we discussed, are printed or recorded information used in a training program. Manuals are learning tools, written guides, or anything that provides an overview of materials. And combined, they can be viewed as the total package that provides an overall learning sequence for students' development of new knowledge and skills. Here's the list of resources used in this presentation. You can review and refer to them whenever you need. Thank you for watching our presentation.